I think we are finally entering a golden age for FPS games. And I know that sounds crazy because for the last few years, shooters have been really stale. We've had the same franchises, the same mechanics, the same progression systems, a lot of games that feel like they're trying to recreate something we already played before. But lately, I've started seeing something different. Developers are actually experimenting again. And after playing WARDOGS, seeing what Bodycam's got going on, and playing Tarkov's new Cord Breach season, I'm actually excited about FPS games again. So let's talk about why. WARDOGS is really what started this for me, and I was playing the beta. I expected to have some fun, maybe make a video about it, but I couldn't even bring myself to make a video about it because I was having too much fun. I couldn't put it down. It was a good time. I really liked the game. I mainly played by myself, and I was having a blast just driving helicopters and shuttling people back and forth, which is weird because that's not my thing typically. That's probably the biggest compliment that I can give the game, is that no matter what I did, I was having a great time doing it. It was fun, and apparently a lot of other people felt the same way. The WARDOG playtest peaked at 105,000 concurrent players, according to SteamDB. That's over 100,000 people playing a beta for a brand new IP from a developer they've probably never heard of. And Bulkhead has announced that the game has passed 1 million Steam wishlists. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. Now obviously those numbers don't guarantee success, but they tell us that there's a lot of interest here. WARDOGS takes this huge 3-faction, 100-player battlefield and puts an economy underneath it. You're not just spawning in and shooting people and forgetting about the match. What you do actually affects your resources and carries over into the next match. You have to think about what you're spending and what you're willing to risk, and I really like that. Systems like that create stories. You're gonna remember the crazy match where everything went wrong, or the time that you risked everything and it paid off. That's the stuff that makes multiplayer games memorable to me. I think Bulkhead's done a great job so far, but we're gonna have to see what happens with it September 10th when the game finally drops. And then there's Bodycam, which is a game that I'm probably most curious about right now, because obviously it looks fucking insane, and I think everyone knows that. But the reason I'm excited for it isn't just the graphics anymore, it's what they're doing with the gameplay. IGN recently posted a video about Bodycam, and the video did phenomenally, about 1.5 million views as of the time of this recording. And I totally get why there's so much hype around this. Bodycam is showing off their new locked and loaded update, and they are changing a lot about the game. There's a new animation system, there's procedural weapon positioning, there's new reload and stress animations, there's a completely revamped loadout and customization system. There's an in-game tablet that lets you never be out of the fight, so there's no pause menu or anything. There's tactical gadgets like FPV drones and RC cars, and the drones are cool because you can actually use like a real FPV controller and control the game just like you would in real life, and it looks really, really clean. That's the kind of stuff that gets me really excited. And my problem here is that it really has to deliver. We've seen the trailers, we've seen the footage, looks great, but we can't call it a success yet. The update's not out, and it looks really promising, but they have to really deliver on this thing, guys. But if they do, and they pull this off, I genuinely think Bodycam could be something really special. And then there's Tarkov's new Cord Breach season, and honestly, I'm still loving Tarkov. The seasonal system gives Tarkov something different to work towards, and you get a separate seasonal character, different progression, modifiers that change how you approach the season, kind of like Project Zomboid. And they're doing a good job of removing the monotony from the game and making the game more user-friendly and beginner-friendly for new players. It's a really good direction for Tarkov, and I hope they keep going this way. And then we have Call of Duty. Honestly, I don't really care too much for Call of Duty anymore, and I'm probably not going to get the new one. It would take a lot for them to get me back as a regular consumer. We've got WARDOGS, Bodycam, Tarkov, Battlefield, whole bunch of games fighting for your attention, and that's good because competition forces developers to actually try. And after Black Ops 7 last year, which didn't perform very well, I think the Call of Duty guys are starting to realize that they're going to need to innovate. They're going to have to do something new or different to get our money. And that's really what this entire video is about. I'm not saying every one of these games is going to succeed. Some of them will probably fuck this up. Some might fail completely, but they're trying new things. And that's what I've been missing from the FPS genre, an identity. I want these games to give me a reason to actually be interested in them. I don't want the same Call of Duty or Battlefield every single year. I don't need any one of these games I've been talking about to become the next massive FPS. However, I think WARDOGs might have a good shot at that. I just want developers to keep taking risks. I want them to keep experimenting and keep giving us games that feel different. Because after years of playing the same shit, it's really nice to be excited about FPS games again. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe half of these games will completely shit the bed. But right now, I'm optimistic, and honestly, I'll take that.